Opponents Dakota, and today I'm going to be going over some more helpful tips and things to remember when playing Magic the Gathering. Um, Coming from the standpoint of like a competitive player, uh, a lot of the time, like you find yourself just wanting to be better when you either go to locals or you go to some IQs that are either like out of town or like even out of state. Going to like the SCG Opens, the Grand Prix, Magic Fest, whatever it is. A lot of the times, like when you find yourself just wanting to play better and just overall wanting to have fun and also be good at the game that you want to be a more competitive player towards. It's kind of like the thing that you work for. So this is sort of kind of like the formula that I use when I play Magic, and how I try to get better as a not only as like a person and an ambassador almost of the game, but really just some helpful things to remember to kind of if not prepare you for the next tournament in the worst case scenario. So number one, very important thing, and something very important I think that you should know is playing with a high level of confidence. Now I'm not just saying doing things that you're confident in or making the decisions and things like that. I'm talking more mental than that. Before you even shuffle, before you even get your round one opponent, just going into the tournament thinking that like what I do is I go in, I mentally tell myself like I'm the best player in the room. I'm playing the very best deck. I'm going to play better than anyone else has ever played ever, and that's going to be the end of it. And I'm going to and basically kind of even like if you want to say like hyping yourself up, like that's kind of what you want to do just to get yourself in the mindset of like I know what I'm doing. I'm going to be great. I'm going to play great, and nothing is going to get in my way. It doesn't matter who I'm playing, what they're playing. I'm just going to outplay them, and then that's going to be good enough for me to win. And in a game like Magic that has such high variance, like yeah, there's going to be times where like you play way better than your opponent and your opponent does win. It's not going to happen a lot, but it will happen. So if you just put yourself in the mindset of if you just outplay them and you do actually outplay your opponent, it doesn't matter what they're playing. Like you just play the matchup to the best of your ability and play it better than anybody else like in the room might have played it, then your odds of winning go up significantly just by putting yourself in that right mindset, putting yourself through like the mental playtesting and things like that. Kind of all go hand in hand, but like number one, like important rule, things to remember, whatever is giving yourself and playing with a way higher level of confidence than probably what you would normally go in with. Another thing that I kind of alluded to in that little like spiel there is having some sort of like humility when you play. Obviously, if you get super super happy and just very very full of yourself, if you get overconfident where you take it from just I'm the best player, I'm going to play the best I can, to well I'm better than everybody else, so like if I lose it's not my fault. You have to be able to like reflect and look back effectively on the games that you've played. Even if you won, you might have made some mistakes, and you have to look back on those and figure out what you can do about those mistakes and how you can fix those. And then even if you like lost, like figure out like well what happened, figuring out like well did my opponent actually get lucky, or did I give them a chance to come back and win. That's the things that you want to keep in mind. It's a lot of just when you lose, it's not getting upset. It's critically thinking about what you did wrong and taking what you learned not only into the next round, but into future rounds, future tournaments, uh, future event, whatever the case may be. You want to take that information where you can and just make sure that it doesn't happen again. Another thing, and really lastly, listening to suggestions from other players. It sucks when you lose and people are trying to talk to you and you're just like, no, I'm in a bad mood because I've lost. Realistically, like you should be able to talk about it, and I think the best time to talk about and reflect on sort of things is like after they happen, because that's when you have like the most clear memory of what exactly happened and what was going on. So really like even what I try to do, like especially like when I lose, like I want to talk to my opponents and stuff like that and just figure out like hey, like this is how I played it. This is my thought process. What do you think if you were in my situation with the information that with what I had, what would you do? That sort of thing, and be able to theory craft and stuff like that. And I don't think enough players actually do that, and it's kind of a shame because, again, it's definitely easy to feel a little tilted and upset because you lost. Because obviously we don't want to lose. Even when we play casual games with our friends, we don't want to lose. We want to win. Winning feels good. It inherently is a great feeling, but making it the sole reason to play obviously makes the game unfun super quick. It just burns you out faster. It makes you take more breaks, and that's not really what you want. You want to be able to find a balance between having fun and then also, if you're pursuing a competitive level of play, finding a way to make that competitive play fun. Whether it's some events you just take like a janky homebrew deck, or you play a deck that you think just looks exciting to play in the format, or going with a group of friends, or whatever the case may be. Realistically, like this winning mentality that you want to create, is kind of like the best of both worlds, where like even when you're losing, you have fun. When you're losing, you're learning, and you're still able to like look back on it and say, I did these things right, I did these things wrong, this is what I need to work on, this is what I need to keep doing, all those sort of things. And that's going to go way farther than someone that's just like, well, I lost because it was bad luck and I won because I'm a great player, and there's no room for improvement in the wins, and then there's nothing I did wrong in the losses either. It's just I got super unlucky. And sometimes that is the case, where you do just get super unlucky, where it's like, if my opponent has exactly this, this, and this, I lose the game. Like, well, they actually had this, this, and this. It was very unlikely that they would. Things like that. It's not something that you want to get like hung up on too much. It's really just moving forward and really trying hard to just keep going and keep this mentality that eventually you are going to become a better player. Like, if you're just starting out, like, you will get better as long as you focus and you work on learning things as you go. And even for players that are more advanced, just continually learning, like learning the deeper ins and outs of like either the deck that you're playing, the formats that you're playing, just being able to give better suggestions to other players to help them get better, and just like reinforce your ideals that make you such a good player. And so that's really going to do it for this video of just creating a winning mentality for as a Magic player. Um, Really important. Just enjoy the wins, be able to look back on them objectively. Um, don't dwell on the losses, but definitely look back and make sure that you look back and figure out what exactly went wrong. And probably the most important thing out of all of this is just playing with a higher level of confidence. Really just telling yourself that, like, if you can put your mind to it, you could be like the best player in the room, and that's definitely not an exaggeration. I think anybody can be the greatest at this game. It's just how much work are you willing to put in? How much are you willing to even tell yourself that it's possible? And once you break through that ceiling of not being able to get past that, oh, maybe I'll be an average player, once you break past that, like, the sky's the limit. Like, you could literally just go anywhere you want with this game, and that's the beauty of it. So that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did enjoy it and you want to see more videos, like some sweet modern deck techs and maybe some even pioneer deck techs, even some Theros Beyond Death cards that I think are going to be super insane in the upcoming standard format, make sure to subscribe to the YouTube channel, like the video if you enjoyed it, share it with some of your friends. Maybe it's you have someone that's having like confidence issues, things like that. Like, this is just a quick, easy little video that they can watch and just take some details from this rambling man on the internet. Also, check out my Twitch channel. Not just, we're trying to get some more like games and stuff lined up for the stream, so hop on over there, give us a follow, hang out, talk Magic stuff, not Magic stuff. I don't really care. It's just a fun place to hang out as we kind of get away from the YouTube a little bit. But that's gonna do it for me. I hope you guys enjoyed.